Hello and welcome. It's another year, and today, after 2 whole years of grinding on the muddy trenches of Haven, the water puddles on Pearl, the sandy winds on Bind, and obviously the dumb paper walls on Ascent, I finally achieved what I would like to call the art of climbing spike. And today, I would like to share it with you guys.
So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. So in today's video, we are going to cover two things. First thing is how we actually are supposed to plant this spike and what all things we need to keep in mind. And the second thing is I'll show you the best plant spots on two of the maps, which is first is Sunset and the next one would be Lotus. The remaining maps would be covered in the second video, which will come in 1 to 2 weeks duration. So let's start with the first part. So going to the extreme basics of planting the spike, the total time we have for every round in Valorant to put the spike down for attackers is a total of 100 seconds. And out of those 100 seconds, you only need 4 seconds to plant the spike. So please don't try to plant the spike in the first 30 seconds of a round. You have a whole of 100 seconds to fake your enemies and pull out rotations and try to get picks and decide where you want to commit to plant the spike. So the first situation over here, which I'm showing, is planting the spike in the dead center. So now when you plant the spike like this, the defenders have an entire whole circle to defuse. And if you are playing main, then you have to spam this whole line from here till here, and which is not ideal, which takes us to situation 2. Okay, so in this situation, I'll plant this, I'll hold this corner, then at the last second I'll face the wall and put my spike down. So what we achieve from this is the entirety of this area, literally half circle, has been covered by the wall. And now the defenders can only defuse on this short part of the side. And that's unlucky for them and advantageous for you because you just have to spam this much area. And that is why I would prefer planting this spike and at the last moment facing the wall or any edge you have. Like if you're planting here, just hold this angle and then at the last second face the wall, which will only give 1/4 of the circle for the defenders to defuse and easy for you to spam. Okay, so that's the important part you need to keep in mind when you are planting the spike. So I'll show you the same example over here. So if I have side control, I'll go towards this wall, I'll plant, I'll hold if anyone is pushing at the last second, I'll face the wall. And see how much area is cut for you to spam. And it's really very efficient. Because mostly after the defenders retake, they tend to smoke the spike and just sometimes take it. So the lesser area you have, you give them to defuse, the higher the chances are that your spam hits them and you win easy rounds. So before we go into the best plant spots on this map, I'd like to clear something is that first priority, always discuss with your team like where they want the spike to be planted before every round. Like if your sentinel is or your controller is lurking, then it is better that you plant for them. The second thing is if your controller or your sentinel like Killjoy has lineups for that plant spot, then you need to discuss it with them and accordingly plant your spike. Except for that, if both those conditions don't meet, then always go for the good plant spots like I'll cover. So now moving on to the part 2 of this video, in which I'll show you the best plant spots, starting with this map, sunset. And now we'll start with the B site now, since I'm here. I'm using Gecko for this video because like you have a free wingman to plant this spike, and it's really easy. Like, see, I just have to put my crosshair wherever I want to, and you can just go and plant the spike. That's it. So on sunset, the best plant spot according to me is here. The reason it being the best plant spot is that you can obviously spam it from here, but the better reason is if you have a lurk, like your sentinel is lurking, then it is planted for them as well. This is one plant spot. Or if you are just playing B main, your whole team is playing for spam, which is what this map is known for, this side of this map especially, is to just plant the spike and spam on tap. That's it. Then you can also plant it on this part of the wall. You can plant it like this. So now that I've covered these two spots, first one being on the left side of the wall here, try to plant it towards you rather than ahead of the wall, because then your teammate who's lurking market can see the spike. If you plant ahead, they can't see it and the round is lost. Your opponent can literally stick it. And if you're playing B main, then on anywhere on the right hand side wall or anywhere on the left hand side wall, both will do. One more good plant spot if you have control of the entire site. Entire site being you have control of backside, like no one is speaking here. You have smoke market, then you can plant here. The only other condition for this plant spot is that you must have a lurk somewhere. Then and only then this plant spot is extremely good and you will win a lot of rounds with it. Like, you can see for yourself that if you plant the spike here, you can see it from here, here. All the entries for the B side, you can see it from there. There are a few good plant spots on this map. First being on this edge right here. So if you plant right here, you can see the spike from elbow. If you have a late mid lure from your sentinel, you can see it from here and flank your defenders. Or you can also wrap up
right there,
elbow come main and peek from link. And that's the reason this is a great plant spot on this side, which I would suggest you to plant every single round if it's possible. Another good plant spot is towards this box. Like
Spike's here.
Like right here. Which is for the same reasons, like you have to swing here. Then if you have a lure, it is visible from here. And then you can see it from there as well. You can spam this box. So let's go on our second map of today, which is Lotus. We'll start with A site. So the first best plant spot is over here.
Spike drop.
So if you plant here, you can see the spike from tree, and like it's a good angle you can fight on. And also you can see the spike from here. You have to swing a bit, but once the defenders cross on take side control, you should be able to peek from here and fight for the tap. Or if you have a lure like B side, he could drop down and fight from you. So now the second plant spot on this side is either side of this
Right
box,
there.
which you have here, is either on the left side
I got the spike.
or the right
Spike
side.
drop.
Both will do, and this covers
Oh, you
most of the
got it.
lineups. Like if you
Right there.
just have a lineup on this box, it will do. You have to put it a bit left and right.
Mosh pit. Spike here. I got the spike. Spike drop.
And you can see the spike from here. But you have to wall bang your enemies if it is planted here.
I got the spike. Spike drop.
Same goes for the other side. It is visible for what this side. It is visible for main, but you have to spam if you are playing free. There is one more great plant spot which is really good in 1v1 situations. I know it's very rare, but if you are anytime stuck in a 1v1 situation, it has worked many times for me. You just plant on this edge, like literally right here. There are so many angles for the defender to cover. You can literally buy enough time out of it. Like you can either be here, you can even be here, tucked here, and swing later, or you could have pushed
Right there.
heaven, left or right side. It could be anywhere, or you could just be playing side, swinging here, or you could even be on tree. So these are the four
Right there.
best plant spots on this side.
Right there.
Now let's go to B side. Okay, on B there is one really good plant spot if you have a lurker on either A or from C. They can be anywhere and they'll be able to see the spike. And that plant spot is right here on this edge. This is such a good plant spot. I'll show you.
Spike drop.
The spike is planted
Spike's
here.
here.
You can obviously see it from main, but you can obviously see, and you can also see it from link. Also, you can see it if you go all the way from the upper, which is never expected. And if your sentinel is lurking from C, then he already has a good flank on them. Like
Right
all
there.
the entry points are covered
Right
by
there.
this plant spot, and you could be anywhere if you have a great lurking teammate. Or if you have lineup Larrys on your team,
Spike drop.
most of the lineups are in this pit right here,
Blow him up, man.
because this is the only open part on this map. And
Spike's here.
yep,
I got the spike.
like Viper, Brim Molly, Killjoy Molly, pretty much every lineup Larry knows this lineup for this spot, and you can plant here safely. You can watch their head if they are diffusing. Same goes if you are playing Link or flanking from Link. Was it? Now let's go to C side. On C side, this is still the best plant spot.
Spike drop.
It's just you need to be careful that people can stand on this edge and defuse the spike. And if you're
Spike's here.
shooting for crouch angle diffusing, then you are just hitting their legs and they can defuse the spike.
I got the spike.
So yeah, this is a really great plant
Right
spot
there.
if you can manage to plant it. But nowadays people
Right there.
literally stand here and spam this spot, because we often tend to smoke this
Right there.
and obviously waterfall when we take side, and they can just
Right
mark
there.
on map and spam from here even if they're down, and it's just a free kill. So instead, there is one really good plant spot which I think Team Heretics played first time in the Pro League, and it's over here. Let me mark on the map again. You can plant from here and you can see the spike from here as well. It's
Right
right
there.
here. Like you are covered
Right there.
because of this. Just it is wall bangable, so just be careful of that. If the enemy is spamming you, except for that, you can just plant here, face the wall at the last second, and
Right there. Spike drop.
voila, your team can play from here. Mount and see the diffuser's head if they haven't been smoked, or you can just spam if they have been smoked.
Spike.
And if you have a lurk, another good plant spot for you would be this
Spike drop. Spike's here.
right here. Because if it is planted here, your lurker, they can flank the defenders and fight here, or they can fight from waterfall, late lurking through B main, and see their head over here. It's really good. You can see their head. And planting here is also very easy. You just have to send your wingman like this and send him to plant. He'll do the job. And on Lotus, you'll have Gecko in 80 to 85% of your games. You can literally jiggle between these
Right
spots
Right
every
there.
time you go see, and it'll be enough for you to give you a good plant. So that's it for this video, and now I will cover the remaining 5 maps which are currently in the map pool in the second part of this video, which will be released in the upcoming 2 weeks. So if you really learned something from this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe this video. And if you have any suggestions regarding any good other plant spot, then you can put it down in the comments. I'll be reading all of your comments. And stay tuned for more clips and more tips and tricks. Thank you.